No.
Can you have like another public participation before you go to executive session?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you wanna go?
What, do I want to know?
No, I just,
Oh, I just wanted to know, I didn't hear what happened before. Are you going to, it's all off the table until November?
Yep.
We didn't get the vote, that was
Pardon?
2-2.
You're not going to go into executive and change your mind, right?
No, we're not changing our mind in executive session, okay? Ronnie, did you want to speak?
no, I just want to say I'm disappointed that you couldn't fill a seat. Tonight's another example of 2-2. And boards have an odd number of members for a reason. So that you can come make decisions, good or bad. People, we have a discussion, have 5 points of view. Hopefully people can change each other's mind, and then we put it to the vote. You had an opportunity, a gentleman had 8 years on the board, can literally hit the ground running as far as understanding the budget. He's been there, he's done it, and just very, very disappointing. I also was hanging his hat on the Republican thing earlier. Maybe he's changed his mind as far as that goes, as far as that nomination. And Doug, I'm just really disappointed that you wouldn't think that John would do a great job for the next 5 months.
I do think he'll do a great job.
Want to make a motion right now to put him in that seat?
They just promised not to change their mind.
Been ruled on.
You can make another motion. Make another motion right now. Meeting's not over yet. It's not a done deal yet.
Done as far as I'm concerned.
I think we know that. Doug, it's your decision, really, is what it amounts to. Plain and simple, Doug, it's your decision. Okay, well, there's the answer.
I would only agree with Bonnie if you'd have done this in January. But now, it's, the time someone comes in, it's June. And how much you're going to learn in a month before you're running for election already, whether you like it or not, in June,
That's why a candidate with 8 previous years, I agree with you, except for the fact that John's got 8 years on the board.
Well, does that mean the other people shouldn't have even applied?
No, I'm not saying that.
But anyhow, all right,
Well, let's go to executive session.
So if we have some big projects come up and 2 agree, 2 don't agree, they tell the companies we just can't do it?
We've never had any problem with the votes here until this here. We've never
Although we
met.
got a problem then.
Yeah, we do have a problem, you're right. We have a lot of budget items that need to be dealt with this year now. We got 3 people working full-time at the rink, we're gonna keep them there all summer long to clean the building. Well, there's nothing going on.
As long as it's
what I
on
was told
taxpayer dollars,
last
it's okay.
week. Same thing with the people that have retired at the highway barn, David. Are we filling 2 spots, are we filling 1
Filled
spot?
one.
We have no say in that.
No,
It takes,
I filled one and we're waiting to fall, same as we agreed about 3 months ago.
we're doing cost-saving measures, we've been getting together trying to figure out where we're
Well-
gonna save some money so that we can.
I'll be more than happy. I thought we were gonna sit down and go over this. That's why Dale formed the committee.
Yep.
And we'll work the numbers and
So there are a lot of issues that have to be decided, there's no question.
I agree.
Unless everybody just wants to let everything go as is, which,
But Brad, you realize we both sat on the boards before with budgets. And if you're lucky, if you learn anything in a year on the budget. And sometimes you don't learn anything for 5 years, all the time you're on the board, so it's not like you can walk in, except maybe someone who already knows it, I'm not arguing that point. But working on the budget's just not that easy for anyone.
see, and that's part of the problem here, because we start working on the budget, as David said, we'll start working on it in the next month. The budget is adopted in November, so the budget is adopted by
No, I know
these
it's
4
always a
people.
bad time. You're
So there will not be a
you're
5th
gonna vote on
person making
something
a
that
decision.
I understand that.
And I know that there's a lot of things that are 2 and 2 in the budget that we're gonna talk about. But that's the way people want it, it's
I don't
gonna
think
cost.
that's how the people want it.
No,
No, you're right,
that's all right.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, 2 people wanted that. Yeah.
No, I was just looking for somebody, a 3rd person to make some decisions budget-wise and money-wise in our expenditures. If we can't do it, we can't do it.
Yeah, that's why we have town board members to step up to the plate.
The 4 of you were elected to make decisions.
We
For the
did. We
people that
nominated
live here.
Sampy. It got
Excuse me?
shot down.
What's that?
We nominated Sampy and it got shot down.
Yeah.
There's some experience there. What happened to his experience? Are you overlooking him?
Right.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, when you had 2 names in front of you, okay? And so I withdrew mine. Sammy was interested, he got the nomination, okay? It's not unusual when you have to fill a seat, half the board wants somebody, half the board wants somebody else. You settle on a third person and you get it over with, you get it done. The taxpayers will make the final decision in November for next year. There's a lot going on right now. You've got 2-2 ties on important budget items. With the way the economy is, the way how dollars are tight, you're gonna allow 2-2 to be a good thing. 2-2 is not a good thing. You should pick one of the 4.
Do you have a bylaws or constitution that talks about what happens when you have a vacancy and you're at a stalemate on filling it?
Never had a stalemate on filling it. This doesn't happen very
I
often.
know, but do your bylaws speak to it? Like, the vacancies available for a certain number of months, then you, as the head of the committee, pick somebody, or I've never heard of an organization that runs like this, with a vacancy for
Welcome to Alexandria.
how many months, and you can't afford, you can't agree. Usually there's some clause that says if you can't come to an agreement after a certain number of days, then somebody gets to make that decision. And I'm just wondering if you have bylaws or a constitution on how you run the board and what it says.
Dale, I can answer that question.
Thank you, sir.
Vacancies are covered by New York State law. And in a particular case like this, vacancy on your board is filled by a majority vote of the remaining board members. If you cannot get a majority vote, then the vacancy does not get filled. The only exception to it is if you petition the governor to call a special election, then he could call a special election. In this particular case, it is so close to the general election that he wouldn't do that because it's costly. And the governor's office also will not do it unless there's good cause. And good cause has to be a showing that your board is hopelessly stalemated on conducting the business of the town. Now, you know, you've made some statements that there are going to be some stalemate issues, but I don't think you could satisfy the governor's office that you're in a hopelessly stalemated situation. So that's the procedure, and unless the governor calls a special election, the only power to fill a vacancy is by a majority of the remaining members of the board.
And that takes 3 votes from this board.
So by law, if you cannot get 3 votes, nothing can happen until the general election.
Doug, if you think Johnny do good for 5 months, why don't you just side with these guys?
No. John is good. There's no question about it. As far as the budget, we got a budget officer we pay big bucks for, and he's to produce us a budget, and we're to either okay it or deny it.
And 5 people should have input into that budget. That's not one person's budget, that's the board's budget.
Oh, you're wrong.
Well, any board I've ever been on, it's 5, when you vote on that, that becomes your budget.
We vote on it in the fall, either okay it or disapprove it.
You are wrong.
I'm just telling you, when you vote, That is your budget.
We have a budget officer, he presents it to us.
responsible.
Yeah, and 5 people have
It can be
input.
voted down.
that's it, period. It's just general
Yeah,
Oh, they do pay for a budget officer though.
I know that.
Oh,
I'm
but
just
they
saying.
can vote no though.
Yeah, they vote no, and then they modify it, they keep modifying it until they can pass it, and that means 5 people have a say on the final budget.
I think this is going to be really fast.
Yes, Jim.
Just a point of order. I think before things get blown out of proportion here, you need to take control over this meeting, and any comments should be directed to you, and no comments back and forth between the participants in the audience. Please.
Very good.
We had a motion on the table to go into executive session.
I need a motion for executive session, please,
I'll make the motion.
for personnel reasons. Do I have a second to Elson's motion?
Yes.
Second made by Doug to go into executive session for personnel reasons. Thank you.